to Different Style Whites.
Yahoo!
We are the Different Style Whites. I'm Aubie,
And I'm Jom.
and I think I said this last week, but boy, do we have a treat for you today.
Yes.
We thought we would dip our toes in some different waters since we've been in the land of Onita and the land of Tokon, uh, both of which we will return to extensively because they're super
Oh,
raw.
absolutely. That's not the last of it, don't you worry.
Yeah, but we did want to talk about a guy that we both love in a time and place that we both love. And this week we are talking about shoot boxer and debatably the greatest rookie in the history of professional wrestling, Takehiro Murahama.
Yes, this is a very big change for us too, because as you said, we've been mostly looking at the Shin Nihon and the Frontier, and I think the thing with those guys, the Wigaksus and the Masashi Aoyagis, the Willie Williams, the Ruskas of the world, they are, and I mean this lovingly, they are two-dimensional fighters. They are very set in one discipline that usually has one major focus. Ruska was not really doing a lot of striking. He was doing a lot of grappling, doing a lot of throws. Willie Williams was just like almost all strike. Same with Aoyagi, same with Wigaksu. And those fighting styles are incredibly exciting. This is not me saying that I dislike them or that they're lesser or anything. I actually think that karate and wrestling is like the coolest shit ever, bar none.
Even fake
Um,
karate.
yes, even fake karate, dude. I fuck heavy with a guy that does the wacha pose,
Yes.
Like I fucked with Avatar.
Got to.
But I will say those are all two-dimensional styles. They're very set in core principles. They are not super complex in terms of, the breadth of everything they do. They're the kick or the strike or the throwing, and that's really about it. This is the first time we've gotten a true blue three-dimensional fighter, which is a term that I first saw online on old Japanese forums, referring to kind of the explosion of shootboxing and of mixed martial arts, where you see these guys come in and they're not just only strikers or only grapplers. These are guys that know how to do everything. And that presents such a different scenario with a guy like Murahama, especially, where he is more strike focused just because of the nature of shootboxing, which is primarily kickboxing. But there are times when he pulls things out that you would never see a Ligaksu pull out. You would never see Aoyagi go for the German suplexes or the flying arm bars that Takehiro Murahama goes for. This
Yeah,
is
even like
a fully
Nakaya,
formed guy. Yes.
who we talked about last week, is not have everything to his game. And part of that I think is the nature of shoot boxing, which I do want to talk about because
Yes.
you take a shot. I'm about to say it's the coolest shit ever, but shoot boxing is the coolest shit ever.
Dude, I love shootboxing. Like, oh god, I want to say like 6 months ago, I was on a long shootboxing kick. I was in love with Hiroki Shishido, who was like an early 2000s to like 2010s shootboxer who and the thing with shootboxing, just for anyone that doesn't know, because this is kind of like a more niche martial art, shootboxing is primarily kickboxing based martial art. However, it does allow throws and it allows grappling to a certain extent. We actually talked before about the time limit on holds in the Shota match, Shota against Onita, where Shota, I believe, is only allowed 5 seconds to hold on, or 10 seconds to hold on to a hold. That's kind of how it works in shootboxing. You are able to do submissions and throws. However, you're only able to have those submissions on for, I believe, 5 seconds. And if there's not a tap out, you have to split up the submission.
That's so raw. So
So
they're cranking the fuck out of those
yeah,
things
you
when
you
they get
have to
in,
crank the
try
fuck
to
out of them.
break it.
Try to make them tap immediately, and otherwise you were just standing banging. You're just throwing kicks and punches and moving. It is, I think it's up there as one of the most exciting martial arts. Like it's pretty. I'd say it's about as exciting as Muay Thai. In terms of when they get moving, it is the most raucous fighting style ever. Um, But shootboxing starts in the late 80s, started by Caesar Takeshi, who is a veritable legend of the sport because he started it and everything. But he was a Sayama trainee, which I think is a really interesting link that he was
Man,
from the Super Tiger gym, and then he created shootboxing.
I love all
Uh,
these connections. We have at least one every week. It's so
yes,
fucking cool.
every single time. And I want to say in the early 90s, I don't remember the exact year, but in the early 90s, Takehiro Murahama makes his debut as a shoot boxer. And pretty early on, I believe pretty early on, Takehiro Murahama starts to kind of establish himself as a threat. He's pretty quickly climbing the ranks in shoot boxing. And he has a good bit of charisma too. So he's kind of getting a lot of popularity. And he had this long reputation as a bad boy of shoot boxing because he was a pretty big shit talker from everything I've heard.
We see that in a
Uh,
promo later. I noted down.
yes, he was a pretty big shit talker, and he got into some spats where he wasn't always winning too. I think that's an important note that he was not like impervious to losses. He went a while just going win after win, but in the mid 90s he starts to rack up some losses. But he's not a guy that can't back up his word. Most famously, and one of the biggest early moments of shootboxing getting a lot of credibility, he competes in the K1 Japan Grand Prix in 1997, which is an event in the Tokyo Dome. And he is in a featherweight tournament happening on the show, and he wins it. So he wins a featherweight tournament in K1 in the Tokyo Dome as a shoot boxer. And that's a pretty fucking big deal.
And that's crazy too because it tells you how fucking kind of unreal he was at just the kickboxing part because he did
Yeah.
have like a little judo background too. And to
Yes.
to have that part of his game like not, you know, not be able to come into play. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, no, he was had the, as you said, the judo experience, very talented kickboxer. He actually did spend time living in Thailand, I believe, and he learned Muay Thai at the time, so it kind of more integration of the style blending together into this straight up killing machine kind of fighting style.
And he's a
Um,
like great boxer.
yes, dude.
Again, no shade to Nielsen. He could throw him, but he's got a kind of a crazy boxing rhythm and he's so explosive that that's almost to me like within the context of the stuff we watched, his biggest asset of like making these things exciting. I don't
Yes.
know. I did the mouse boxer thing again and just
Shout out Malpa,
watched
mouse
yeah
boxer.
watched that playlist. So and I was kind of just you know super locked in. But I don't know how much that part of that played in his kickboxing career. But like in different style fights, he's a really talented boxer.
Yes. And he's again, very tenured, very very popular shoot boxer up until 1999. So we do not know. I don't know the full details. Murham has done interviews where he's been more candid, and honestly, I just did not see one that went more into detail about this. So this might be something he's keeping closer to the chest. But reports start to come out in early to mid 1999 that Takehiro Murahama has had a falling out with the Caesar Gym. The Caesar Gym, of course, is run by Caesar Takeshi, the creator and president of the shootboxing organization. He has a falling out and is no longer able to train at Caesar's gym. Um, I don't know really why. I've read things before that Caesar Takeshi is kind of a personality, and Takehiro Murahama would not be the first person to have beef with him. But because he's not able to be at that gym, he's also really not able to be a shoot boxer because the guys that handle booking for shoot boxing fights are guys that work for Caesar Gym. So if he's not really invited there, then they're not going to invite him to the fighting group. They're not going to invite him to like events. Um, and that ends up leading to Murahama retiring from combat sports altogether in July of 1999. However, throughout the entirety of his shootboxing, there's a very clear thing with Murahama, that is that he fucking loves wrestling. Uh, because he would come out and shootboxing, also a great martial art, because you could wear like the general attire was the gloves and then like tights, like the long johns.
Yeah, so he already looks like a wrestler.
Yeah, he's already got those on, and people were allowed to design it to like put whatever designs they want. Murahama, more often than not, would come out with tiger mask designs.
And the
So
mask.
and the mask,
And
and
I
he
read
also
that he came out in Liger gear, but I didn't see that. I did
I
see the tiger mask stuff before a fight, and I like jumped out of my chair.
and I will say I have seen it. He came out with the whole shoulder shit. Like
Oh
he
yeah, I did see the picture of the shoulder.
yeah,
Yeah,
he loves wrestling.
almost
Loves
Delfin-like too.
yes, almost oh yeah, he loves wrestling, loves the junior heavyweights especially. Great sign. And when he retires from mixed martial arts, it's I mean, I read stuff online that people were almost immediately saying like he's going to pivot to wrestling, isn't he? And that's exactly what happens. So in October of 1999, specifically October 13th, and shout out to the Takehiro Murahama Impact, I believe the name of it is, the
Yeah,
VHS releases that Osaka Pro did covering Murahama's career in the year 2000, because it has so many cool clips. They actually include all of the build up to his first match. So on October 13th, he comes in. They do a little press conference where Delfin says that they're going to debut Murahama. They're going to have him do kind of some shootboxing type stuff, and they're going to train him to be a pro wrestler.
it's so funny the press conference because Delfin is up there in his like Lisa Frank mask, but it's like
Yes.
he's sitting next. How this seems like a coup to me for Osaka Pro to land. I know you said shoot boxing is like a niche martial art, but for him to end up with really like a nascent Osaka Pro,
Yes.
uh, it seems like a pretty big coup to me.
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal because again, Murahama's kind of a rising superstar of just the general kickboxing world too. Because a lot of time they'd associate the
Oh yeah,
shootboxers with the kickboxers, and he was a like again they were talking about him.
yeah.
He was a big fucking deal, and they got him. And I don't know the full details of why he chose Osaka Pro. Um, it may have been a situation. My immediate thought is Takaku Fuke, who re-debuted as a wrestler because he lived in the Osaka area and just decided to work Osaka Pro. Maybe that was a similar thing to Murahama. He's from Ishikawa Prefecture, but he was fighting and was affiliated with the Osaka Fighter Factory later on. So he may just
Okay.
legitimately be a resident of
Yeah.
Osaka. And this is a nascent company, but it has some pretty big names attached. It's got Delfin, who has even this early on, I don't feel like it's a secret that Delfin is kind of a guy that is just a very smart booker. And has like good visions for companies. Like that's
His
why Osaka blew up as well as it did.
his vision, I did want to talk about that. This early Osaka Pro stuff is so strong, and and like we talked about it. This to me is like one of the perfect gumbos in wrestling history. Like this time and place in Osaka Pro. As you said, the
Yes.
roster is insane. All these guys coming from Impro, where the shooty stuff is kind of an under-discussed part of Michinoku Pro, like
Yes, it is.
Wellington Wilkins and
Dude.
Hoshikawa, who we'll talk about soon, and the Battle Art
Yeah.
connection. So yeah, and Delfin, you know, obviously he likes to be a little shooty guy sometimes. So it really is a phenomenal fit in terms of personality and style.
Yes. Cause I mean you're totally right that this is and especially for a guy like Murahama, who is going to pivot into a more junior centric offense,
And
not
he's a
even
little
after the end of
feller.
the year. And he's a little fucking dude. Um, this is basically the perfect place because it lets him do the martial arts stuff, and then once it's time for him to pivot, like there is no better place in Japan in terms of junior heavyweight wrestling than Osaka Pro in 2000. Like bar none, it is the place to be if you're a junior heavyweight, and he is there. So like, of course, he develops into the guy he becomes because he's surrounded by the best division on the fucking planet at the time. But yeah, he comes in, does the press conference. There's some little exhibition type things where he like comes out and like practices shoot boxing just in the ring with a sparring partner.
And this fired me up so much. I guess it's Pavlovian from loving these things. That sound of him shuffling around the ring is just so titillating.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
Like just seeing the guy like rev up the engine is so
yeah.
awesome. And there's this awesome thing they do in December, about a month before his debut, where they have him sparring in the ring and they have Hoshikawa standing outside the ring watching him spar. And then they have Hoshikawa come in
Yes.
with like a Yoshito Sugimoto, the future Gamma, and it's just him doing like grappling drills, like pro wrestling sugar hold shit
In the
on
Funaki
Gamma
tights.
in the Funaki tights. And Murahama is standing out there and he is watching, digesting his wrestling to, get a feel of how it's going to be when they fight. And there's this one little moment where Murahama just kind of looks away for a second. He has this like almost smug look on his face, and you can just see it in him. Like there's something there. There's already something
Yeah.
starting to bubble a little bit. And it's going to take a bit for it to come out, but there's something really with him that that's going to get pretty scary. But yeah, that
He
is
might have been offended by Hoshikawa's lesbian aunt haircut that he was
he
rocking
does
here early on.
he
I
does
was.
have one. He's got a four-door sedan.
But I also like when we get into the match, and the first match is Takehiro Murahama versus Naohiro Hoshikawa from January the 4th, 2000. Same date as a match we've already talked about on this podcast, Hashimoto and Izuka versus Murakami and Ogawa.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh
Um,
my, that was January 4th. I
yeah,
didn't even realize. I knew it was
yeah.
January. I just see. Oh wow.
Uh, another killer match. And then the main
That
event
yeah.
of this show was to crown the first Osaka Pro champion, one of the under-discussed, like, just godly matchups, Super Delfin versus Dick Togo.
God, and
If
that is a
Delfin
fucking
wins,
great
yeah,
one.
put a
Yeah.
pin in that. Any
Mhm.
Delfin, Sato, or Togo match is outrageously good.
Immediate money.
But yeah, he wins the title, so put a pin in that. And then when we finally get to the show here, we have our first of a couple really lovely Osaka venues. Love
Yes.
their venues, but they give it a big fight feel. They do like the backstage, like the guys kind of getting into the zone while their butt rock plays.
Hmm.
And
And Murahama especially is like rocking right out the butt, dude.
yeah,
Like
dude, it's unbelievable. Nobody
I
is doing it like the Japanese. And
I have it written down. I believe, and I know he comes out to the song later. I should have checked to make sure it was the same song. But if not, just know that he does come out to this song in like the next match. It is the song "Dance" by the heavy metal band Rat with two
yeah,
T's.
it's perfect. That's what every
It
wrestling theme
rules,
should be.
dude. It rules.
But
But
it's
yeah,
pretty impressive for a little independent company. I know Osaka's a big city, but like that's
yes,
just getting started up,
yeah.
really, and getting rolling.
I mean, yeah,
And
we're
Hoshikawa looks like little Chono.
he does. We're 7 months into Osaka even like existing because I think they
Yeah,
started in May '99. So like, yeah, it is kind of amazing to see that just off the bat they are rolling at such a high level. But again, Delfin, mover and shaker,
yeah.
smart guy, incredible at getting that type of business rolling. So I mean, it makes sense, but it's pretty amazing to see that just 7 months in, they are running a pretty big venue, almost 2,000 people, and they have a major former martial artist who has become a wrestler who is making his debut alongside a high level money main event. And I think the most interesting thing, just in terms of like lore, and this is not our kind of wrestling. I know that just knowing both of us, this is not something that we're both like clamoring for often. But the first ever singles match between Kuishinbo Kamen and Ebe-san, first
Ah,
one ever. So this is kind of a big deal show in terms
yeah.
of setting the stage for like the next 5 years of Osaka Pro. Like everything starts here. Um, and it starts hot with Murahama because they are fucking hot this whole match. Like it takes a bit for it to get rolling into their like big shots, but even in the first round, they are doing such a good like feeling out process kind of work.
It's
Just
it's perfect. It's the perfect first round for one of these. And we get those shuffling sounds again, and that means pay
yeah.
attention. Pay attention,
Mhm.
motherfucker. Something could happen. I do want to give Hoshikawa his flowers too, though, and talk a little bit about him before we start because,
Yes.
god damn, he was a beast in this
Yeah.
era.
He was so good.
Really, for his whole career, he was fantastic.
Yeah,
Got a little
that's
spotty sometimes, but
I mean,
Jesus,
11 years. It feels so weird saying he was only in the business for 11
yeah,
years, but like he was a like shooting star, and no pun intended because I'm pretty sure that's his nickname, but like he was a like dynamo. It is so weird to think that this run right here lasts 2 years. He's
yeah,
only in Osaka for 2 years, and then Hashimoto comes calling and says, "Hey man, I want you to be like the ace of my division in Z1." And Hoshikawa takes it, and that gets him into Z1. And that is around the time, especially when he starts to get a little bit more spotty. But I've always been partial to the Murahama spottiness.
yeah,
I think he did it better than most, mostly because he is such a fucked fucker.
yeah, yeah. It's still awesome. To be clear,
Yeah,
he's a guy that uh, more people need to. I know the people listening to this are familiar
yeah,
with him, but he needs more credit for uh, what he was doing in this era, and he's a perfect first opponent for Murahama.
yes,
But he is, as you said, they're feeling it out. Hoshikawa has a couple takedowns. He's throwing some big, loud kicks. The main thing that stuck out to me in the first round with Murahama is he's flashing the speed, and he's
yes.
he's mixing it up on the strikes, which are two things that will be themes.
Yes, he is so fast and he is so diverse in the shit that he does. Um, Again, it is so jarring after 4 weeks of us doing these fighters that are very, they have their thing that they're gonna do, and it's basic as much as it rules because it is, like Ligaksu, he is fast, but he is coming at you with combos that you can kind of see the through line with them of the Taekwondo. I think Murahama more than anyone else feels like he's able to switch gears that like no one else can do. Like
One thing he does a lot that blows me away every time is he will start a combo with a head kick, like a high kick.
yes,
He will
he
throw a
does it
head
a
kick
lot.
and then yeah, and then just unleash. And you like you said, it could be like Muay Thai knees. It could be just like 47 punches in 4 seconds. I mean, he's not really shooting for takedowns a lot, but and especially in this one, he's not because I think
Yeah,
the real story of this is he's trying to avoid that. But
yeah.
um, he mixes it up so much, you never know where he's gonna come from. But I think in this first round, I think it's mostly Hoshikawa in control. Is what it kind of feels
Yeah,
like.
it feels, and it almost feels kind of like a experience game. Murahama this is his first match in wrestling. Hoshikawa's been in this shit for 7 years at this point, and I mean, again, they kind of showed their strategies with that practice session. Murahama is coming at him hard, and Hoshikawa's just playing like pretty incredible defense game, just kind of zoning himself out. And when he does get in, it's to go for takedowns or to prevent strikes. He's playing the game pretty much as well as you can against a guy like Murahama.
And he, haircut aside, he looks incredible here. He's
He
just like
does.
he looks like a beast.
Yeah.
And we do get in between rounds before we go to the second round, we get what that thing we love, the music, but it's piped
Oh,
into the arena.
it is.
And it's like house music almost.
Yeah.
I wonder if Delfin got that, if he just absorbed that from watching his FMW and New Japan tapes that we need some music between between the
Oh god,
rounds.
dude, not even watching it from watching the tapes. He was probably there for
Yeah,
some. He was
yeah.
there for some of the FMW
That's
stuff.
right.
So
Yeah, I meant to say I
yeah,
was ahead for later. He was around for the Oyagi stuff.
yeah,
And he's done some Nuge at this point too, of course, the
yes.
Jacob and all that. But
So he's I mean, which is probably one of the most interesting parts because I didn't really think about it until now. That might be why Delphin was an even better guy to depend on for like Murahama compared to like a Sasuke. Not only because Sasuke in the year 2000 is like a fucking lunatic and is an awful guy to do business with at
bad
this point.
reputation,
You
yeah.
gotta you should not be getting in with him at all for the next few years. But uh I mean, Delphin is probably the most experienced guy in this specific field, the junior heavyweight centric wrestling, the most experienced when it comes to integrating martial arts because he has been everywhere where they have done that. So, I mean, fuck, man, Murahama just ended up in the perfect spot. Fuck.
He really did, and it's one of those moments that the whole thing is perfect. That again, we when we did the Osaka Pro File Under Fire, and I was talking about how awesome it is to go look at Murahama's matches on Cage Match because it's just different style fight, different style fight, different style
Yeah.
fight. But even after that, like as you said, it's the perfect place for him to get integrated into the wrestling part because that early run where he's less removed from the shoot boxing stuff is just as good as it gets
It's
in
supreme.
junior heavyweight wrestling.
Yeah. But you're right. We do go back into the second round, and I mean, pretty immediately we are seeing, some fucking like they're going at it harder.
Yeah,
Uh
Murahama in particular gets more aggressive,
he does. And this
and
is
he
whenever
starts.
I was gonna say this is whenever I figured out the actual rules because they are using shoot boxing rules for this different style fight.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that until you said it. But
Yeah, no,
it makes sense because he's getting more aggressive, but he's also starting to throw combos and like back out
yeah.
instead of letting uh, uh Hoshikawa grab him.
Yeah, which works for the most part, but there are some points where, he gets a little bit overzealous. There's a pretty awesome spot where Murahama lets loose with some punches and Hoshikawa comes up. That's 1 point down. So again, shootboxing, I never mentioned this when we were talking about it. With the shootboxing rules, if you are knocked down 3 times in a single round, you automatically lose. I don't know exactly why. This has been a rule for years and years, so I don't imagine it was to prevent like concussions
Well,
because they weren't
isn't that
thinking
a
of that.
boxing rule?
It is. You're right.
Three knockdowns in a round is a TKO.
Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. You are right. So
But yeah, he
yeah,
catches
they
him with this like 1-2 that
dude
is
fucking
so
floors
gnarly.
him, and Hoshikawa gets up punch drunk selling, and I'm fucking sitting in my chair so happy because I fucking love that, and that is when Murahama shows that he is a shoot boxer
Yes.
because he suplexes Hoshikawa on his damn head.
Yeah, he runs in and hits a backdrop. And when Hoshikawa pops up, I think he's waving off the ref.
He
But
is.
for a second, I was like, is he doing like the different style fight version of like Terry Funk, like blind swinging?
Yeah. And
But he
well, I mean, he did the punch drunk selling after the punches, so maybe he
yeah,
was doing that.
I think he's telling the ref like fuck off because
He
he
might,
got
yeah.
rocked,
He
so he
did.
pops right back up. And yeah, he catches him with this crazy backdrop, and then he jumps up and like hits a taunt, and Hoshikawa Germans the shit out of him.
Dude, sends him to hell. And Murahama starts getting up, and he's like also doing the wave at the ref. And that's when Hoshikawa lands this fucking gnarly head kick.
It's
And
so
that
loud.
gets it down.
Yeah,
Super loud.
it might be the loudest one in the fight. But I loved it because when I was watching that shoot boxing playlist, like they're throwing Germans. I saw
They
a guy
are.
hit him with a German.
Yeah.
And it was almost exactly the same, right? Because they're not selling; they're trying to get up quickly. So he heats the
Hmm.
German, and he jumps right back up. So I thought
Yeah.
that was just an awesome little touch from his shoot boxing days.
Yeah. He gets up, gets rocked with a head kick, and he is really rocked because he gets up and he is like pretty out of it for the rest of that round.
And
Hoshikawa kind of just dominates him for the next fucking like 40 seconds until they hit the clock.
yeah, he's
Um,
going for the arm when the bell rings,
yeah.
and
And
he, I do like so. I'm sure that at least that little sequence was like a planned thing, right? We hit the backdrop, hit the German, pop up,
yeah.
get the head kick. But that's another thing that's so good about these different style fights is if you have those moments in the fight, you cannot blow it. So these guys are throwing at like 80% power and just smoking the hell out of each other because they're like,
Dude.
okay, this is going to be a knockdown, so I better actually kick him in the head.
Yeah, dude, I gotta send him down. So,
So you don't get any like half-ass running through the motions. It's like I'm gonna round kick you right in the head.
yeah. And that leads into the third round, which is kind of the culmination of all of that. We've gotten the feeling out, we've gotten the explosiveness in the second round. We go into the third round, and they are off to the races with just nasty shots within like the first 30 seconds. And Murahama is very quickly gotten the clue that he has to, he's got to go for the kill.
Yeah,
And there's nobody better at this time at going for the kill than Takehiro Murahama
and
because
he
he
does
is,
that combo where he head kicks and then he goes to the mat
yeah.
and he like hammers him down with punches. He's like punching him down
Hmm.
onto the mat, and he smells blood, and then Hoshikawa gets desperate. Oh, it's so good. But this is where he really starts to show off his boxing.
Yes. And this is also where there's this moment where Hoshikawa goes down and Murahama starts to cock his fist back, and the ref kind of walks in front, and Murahama just kind of lets it go. But for a split second, it looked like Murahama was about to start throwing ground and pound,
Yeah,
which I will tell you, not a thing in shootboxing. That is not at all
I
allowed.
imagine. I imagine that's how you kill
So
somebody.
yeah, that's how you murder.
Yeah.
And Murahama, first match in the game, already starting to contemplate murder. So
Great start. He eats a massive belly to belly
it's so good. It's
that is
such
like
a
kind
great
of
suplex.
yeah, it's kind of his like last gasp is this huge belly to belly and armbar, but he gets the rope and then Murahama gets up and hits him with like 48 lefts and rights.
It
And
oh
and he falls down like how Ludacris likes him and he gets a kick in the ass from
oh
Murahama that's almost like a spanking. For
yeah.
like you think you like it's so disrespectful.
And fucking Hoshikawa taking those punches looks like a damn bobblehead. His head is bouncing around so much, and I mean, he's tried his best. Murahama's gotten into a zone that just cannot be
Yeah.
conquered. So Hoshikawa's trying his best to get up and fight back, but I mean, two downs, gets up, immediate another combo by Murahama. Murahama is throwing punches at the air as Hoshikawa is going down because he is not letting go of this combo until he knows he's won. And he's won. Fucking Murahama gets the win. First match ever in a wrestling ring. And I mean, he gets it pretty decisively. There are moments. First round, this
Yeah.
pretty controlled by Hoshikawa. Second round has the big suplex into head kick, and it feels like Hoshikawa has his number. But that whole last third round is like all Murahama.
Yeah. He's established himself as a problem.
Yes.
Murahama Impact.
And there is a handshake after. They shake hands. There's some respect shown. It's an amicable end to the match. But I have in my notes, this will not last because
No.
no, it does not. And that actually leads well into our next match up here from March of 2000. I believe it is March 17th of 2000. Takehiro Murahama against Daio QUALLT.
Yes.
I
Let's go.
mean, What a
Uh,
fucking guy Daio QUALLT is. I mean,
yeah,
look at that.
another reason that Osaka Pro is the best place for him, and another reason why it's so wild that this legit guy is in Osaka Pro fighting Blackface Kane.
I again, we talked about this on the File Under Fire episode I was on. I mean, I know it's not what he's trying to
No,
do,
not
but
at
like
all. Of
it's,
course.
I mean, it is just like it's not even. This is the worst one because at least in the one that we watched, he had like there were like red designs on the face paint
Yeah.
that you couldn't see because it was like a dark red. It didn't look well. This one, there's no designs. It's just black face paint. It
Yeah.
couldn't
And
be worse.
if you haven't seen Dio QUALT, he is basically just Kane,
Yes.
but much better.
Much better. I love Daio QUALLT.
Yeah.
I'm a long-time supporter of the guy. I think he was awesome, and I hate that his career lasted like I mean, he's around for even shorter than Hoshikawa was. He retires
Yeah.
in '05.
I
Like,
would have loved to see him in more stuff like this.
yes,
Because
because
this is our first difference. This is a very different style fight because he's like
yes,
a supernatural fowler.
this is the first time we have ever seen an outright fouler. Like the closest we got was first Onita Aoyagi fight, where Onita was willing to foul, but he was more
Yeah.
just like an antagonizer. This is, I mean, Daio QUALLT is like an evil sorcerer, dude. Like he is straight up powers of darkness ass fouler. Uh, and this is probably the most pro wrestling guy that Murahama's faced yet. He has faced a bunch of guys up to this point, just on Osaka shows in different style fights.
And I wish we
Uh,
had them all in full.
yes, because we have some of them like as clips. There's a Demikin fight that happens in, I want to say like right after this actually. Uh, but I mean, he's just beating these guys up because like the Murahama fight is the longest match he has had up to this point because every other match he's had has gone like 4 minutes at most. A lot of them are like 2 minutes long, and it's just him beating the shit out of Policeman or Kishindo Kamen.
Policeman. We'll probably talk about him again later too.
Oh, dude, yes.
Uh, I was interested in going and looking at those results because the only ones listed as rounds fights are the Hoshikawa and Delfin fights. The rest of these don't. Maybe he was smoking people in round one in some of those
Yeah.
short ones, but like this doesn't have rounds. This is
No,
just like a wrestling match, basically. Not
it
not in
is.
how it plays out, but in the rules. I get
And this
with
is
the knockdown stuff.
yeah, and I think this is not the first different style fight we've seen without rounds because there was the tag with the Koreans
Yes,
and
yeah,
Onita and Asako, but it is the first singles I believe that we've seen without any rounds. And I mean, it is it's kind of weird, honestly. We've been so round pilled recently that
yeah.
like it's seeing them just go like full blast is it's different, but I mean it is still very much a different style fight in
Yeah, and I think
execution.
it works really well in like the way that the match actually plays out.
Yes.
And we've talked about stances before. Qualt has one of the funniest ones because he's got one arm down and he's standing stock still like Kane, and then he's got one hand palm first out, like like the MMA guys who will catch the jab with the hand, but
Hmm.
it's just the one hand, and it's funny because Murahama does just jab it a couple of times,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
really
Murahama
good.
treats it like he's got the fucking
He's
like he's
training.
got the, yeah, like Qualt's got the pad on it.
Yeah. But when he does like shoot in for takedowns or like get on top, he is really quick and like really fluid and adept at that stuff. I was honestly kind of shocked.
Okay, I was gonna bring that up too. What the fuck is Dio Qualt's deal? Because he is like a very good like shooter.
He
He's
gets on
able.
top of him so quick and slick. It's like fucking Fujinami or something.
I will say he is an Animal Hamaguchi guy, so
Okay.
that partially explains it at the very least. Because Hamaguchi, of course, long history of training like actual amateur wrestlers. Like his daughter's like the best female amateur wrestler in the history of Japan. Like
Okay. Because
he's
Murahama does. I don't know if he does this in the first one at all, but he does. He shoots in for a takedown, and QUALLT blocks him and gets on top of him and like rides him around, and then
Dude.
just starts like punching him in the brainstem. But it does look like just like great amateur wrestling the way he does it, and it's so fast.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna like that specific takedown block is like that was whenever I was kind of like leaning up in my chair, like, okay,
Yeah,
Daio QUALLT knows what he's fucking doing because he like full on catches the takedown and like completely neutralizes it, gets behind him, and as you said, just starts throwing punches to the back of the head because he is an evil fucking Fowler who uses the power of darkness. Like he's an evil piece of shit.
and Murahama squirts out really quick.
Dude, Murahama, not a fan. Very
No,
quickly, he's like, "What the fuck is going on here, dude? This is not, this is not what I signed up for."
different style fight, bro. You gotta be ready for
And
anything. It's right in the name.
oh, he's gotta be ready for everything because that's when Daio QUALLT rushes him, throws him out of the fucking ring, and starts beating him up around the arena.
And he's
Like,
throwing these big wrestling punches, but they're
dude,
like Stan Hansen punches because he's just
yes,
fully connecting with him. The big
he's
wind up.
he's blitzing fucking Murahama with the craziest, like they're like hammer fists to the back of the neck. They sound awful.
Yeah, they do. And then he like stalks him around the ring, Kane style, and we get a view of that beautiful CRT that we were both gaga over that 20% of the people in the arena can see.
Yeah, okay. I guess we haven't talked about it too. This is happening in the Mitsuaki Amu Hall, which was kind of Osaka's like regular home venue for a while. Before they got the Delfin arena at the mall that they were running shows in. This venue really awesome, very small scale, but like it feels very intimate. And as you said, they do not have a Titantron. They have a single, very large CRT TV that is able to be seen by half of the crowd.
And I was like, damn, Daio QUALLT's gonna like put this over his head or something.
It's fucking
Wrestling this match so far.
like that. I wonder if they ever like. No, I was gonna say I wonder if they ever used the CRT, but there's no way. That was just their actual Titantron. They couldn't risk breaking that shit.
Those things are so fucking heavy too, man.
Dude.
I never tried to move a big CRT. It sucks.
I think I had to help move one years and years ago when we were switching out TVs in my grandparents' house and they were like finally getting like a new one because they'd had the same CRT since like the early 90s. And that was a bitch.
So heavy. It's like moving a fucking piano.
Yeah. But I mean, and we mentioned before, no rounds, so like the action is just rolling the whole time. There's no like, and the rounds have always been. I've liked the rounds. I think especially with this format, it works perfectly because it kind of it allows you to look at each individual round as telling part of the story. But it is very cool to see this is just a full on match. So the whole match is just the one fluent story, and that story is that Daio QUALLT is incredibly willing to do whatever he has to do to kick Murahama's ass, and he is shockingly good at doing it without even fouling.
He's capable because they get when they get back in, Murahama grabs a waist lock and he QUALLT like gets the ankle.
Yes, he ankle picks him.
Yeah,
Kane ankle pick.
Yep. And he gets in mount and he just starts slapping the shit out of him, and then he starts choking him.
Dude, insane palm strikes, and then Murahama, because again, Murahama, shoot boxer, but he has some MMA experience. He has that grappling game. So he goes for, the basic tried and true method of preventing getting beaten up in mount. Just grab the guy's waist and pull him in so he's like you're kind of smothering yourself with their belly, but it keeps him from being able to do anything.
Yeah.
Shit for Murahama though. Daio QUALLT just reaches around and starts choking him from that position, which is probably the worst place to be in if you're choking someone. So
but then he punches him 48 times.
Dude, sends Daio QUALLT's brain into another dimension. Like, just unleashes combo punches to the face, and down goes Daio QUALLT. And that is whenever we get some really cool ground grappling too, because that's Murahama shooting in, putting in a great triangle choke, like beautiful. Deep in. And absolutely awful idea because Daio QUALLT powerbombs him as hard as he can. It is
He
so gross.
he deadlifts him, and it's not like a because we'll see later like a deadlift and a drop. He power
Yes.
bombs him to hell.
Dude, Murahama hits the mat and just does not move for a second. And it's like I wonder if because that's looking at the guys that he'd been fighting up until that point, like Super Demikin and Sugimoto and Monkey Magic, like, and he got the backdrop from Hoshikawa, and fucking I'm sure some of those guys like Demikin probably did a like little over the shoulder throw at certain points. That has to be the hardest bump that Murahama has ever taken up to this point, like bar none.
It's rough, and QUALLT jumps all over him, knocks the ref down,
Yeah.
starts throwing more punches. Probably the nastiest stomp I've seen that wasn't like uh fucking that jobber getting beat up by fuck.
Oh, by Kurisu?
Yes, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
He stomps him in the back so fucking hard.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And that's that I mean, it is really just about solid 20 seconds of Daio QUALLT whooping Murahama's ass. He gets him on the ropes and starts throwing these like Vader hammers at him and like just rattling him around, and it looks so brutal to take. But that is whenever the fucking Murahama kill mode activates, and we see maybe the coolest like
Oh,
combo setup I've ever seen in wrestling, where Murahama throws a low kick, QUALLT kind of blocks it. He throws another low kick. This time QUALLT like full on checks it. He goes for one more. He is looking at QUALLT's leg. QUALLT goes to check it, and Murahama throws a head kick while looking at his leg, like full on feints him out perfectly.
he
And it
nods
is,
at his leg.
yeah,
Like here it comes.
like he's like zoned in. Daio QUALLT is like totally read him, but Murahama throws a head kick and unleashes the craziest bop 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 oos punches to the head ever.
And then knee to the face.
And knee to the face.
Drops him.
And that is I mean that's a knockout combo. That
And
is a winner.
I rewound the match to GIF it, and it faked me out again.
It did. I did the same thing.
But then the lights go out.
Yes, ref counting gets the 8 count. Daio QUALLT has not moved, and then the lights go out. Because again, let me remind you, Daio QUALLT, master of the forces of darkness, he turns the lights out, and fucking ref is confused. He sees that Black Buffalo and Dick Togo are hovering around, so he goes to yell at them. Daio QUALLT is up at this point. Murahama rushes in, and Daio QUALLT hits the fucking mist to Takehiro Murahama and starts choking him with a rope.
Then he gets a goozle and he missed the ref.
Yes, he
Finishes the
missed
choke
ref.
slam.
And Murahama does win, but it is by DQ because Daio QUALLT has decided that he would rather just foul than get knocked out. And you know what? I would also do that.
Yeah, and his friends in love are one of the all-time collection of freaks
Yes.
that run down there to help stomp him out. Dick Togo is there. His manager, who looks like one of Ed, or Eddie. I don't know which one.
One of them.
Big Dick 296.
The goat. The goat.
He's talking shit. Delfin and Hoshikawa and all the other nice guys come out to help him, but Delfin catches a massive right hand for his troubles
Yeah.
from Murahama.
And that is kind of the moment that the sleeper cell activates in Murahama's brain.
Yeah.
Because again, he had moments of showing a mean streak and like a willingness to kind of push the limits. Like when he almost did the ground and pound on Hoshikawa in his debut. But that right hand and then him just him getting fouled on. Something about that like just makes Murahama's brain go, okay, I have to do anything to win here because we got fucking demons in this Fed. I wasn't
Yeah.
ready. I thought I was like doing some martial arts shit. We got the Satanists that are coming after me now. I have to change my game plan, and change it he does. So about a week later, he has a
Yeah.
rematch with Naohiro Hoshikawa. We are not talking about that match, but that match is fucking awesome. It is we talk about the extracurriculars after usually, some homework for you to do. That one will definitely be on there. Go watch that fucking match. But that is Murahama immediately showing that he is way more willing to push limits because he does actually go for some ground and pound in that fight. And he takes some cheap shots and just whoops Hoshikawa's ass in a way that he has not done before. And he is starting to grow out a little bit of a goatee, and he is coming to the ring wearing a leather jacket, and he is outright. There's a match against Super Demikin where he like just straight up starts throwing punt kicks at his ribs, and very quickly he is given a new nickname, the Wicked Man.
Yes.
And I mean, what a wicked man he is. He has, I mean, I said it just a second ago, but the goatee is unreal.
Yeah, well, then when we fast forward a couple of months to the last match we're going to talk about, he's got the full beard.
Yes, he does. He's got, and it's like a weird beard too. The way it's grown in is like uneven, but like it's on the sides, it's very thick, and then kind of in the middle, it's not so thick, but you can definitely see like the shaping of it.
Yeah, I did.
Uh,
We said he's like a little feller. I forgot at the beginning when he comes out, like to be introduced to the Osaka Pro crowd after that press conference. He's in his little suit, and he looks like he's about to go like on a Model UN field trip. He looks like a little. So he does have like a boyish face, so that makes
he
sense that the
does.
beard's not growing in full. But I can't grow a fucking beard either. So
No, yeah, man.
that's what mine would look like too.
But there's this great clip from the compilation, the VHS tape, where it is after Delfin has like defended his title, and he's sitting backstage taking an interview, and then fucking in walks in Murahama with the goatee and the leather jacket. He's got a bouquet of flowers. He's like, "Hey man, why don't we why don't we do some wrestling, man? Why don't we, put your title on the line?" And Delfin's like, I got other challengers, but I'm hearing you, Murahama. And like right before this title match, I think like a few weeks before, he has a match with someone at fucking, I think it might have been Monkey Magic. And not only does he whoop his ass, he just does not stop beating him up after the fight, and just keeps like he starts fighting the referee, and he's fighting anyone that comes in. And that of course leads to Delphin coming out. He's like, okay, let's do the match then. Like, please stop beating up my roster.
The Wicked Man.
Let's fucking do it. And the Wicked Man says yes. And that is how we get this match on May 7th of 2000. Takehiro Murahama versus Super Delfin for the Osaka Pro title in a different style fight. And we are back to the rounds.
Yeah, and I should have researched this before. Probably thought to research this before, but there probably aren't that many different style fights where a title is on the line, right? Probably in FMW, there's probably a couple.
There's a couple. We actually talked about the AWA title one.
Yeah.
That is considered in Korea as the first MMA championship win. But I mean, it's not often. It really isn't. Usually it is in a situation like this where it's a different style fighter like demanding a title match, and they do it this way. But it's like, I mean, really, it is really rare.
And they're doing hot business at this point. They're actually in Ota Ward, I think, in
They
Tokyo.
are,
They're
yep,
not in Osaka here.
in Tokyo, over 2,000 people at this show, which this show, by the way, fucking stacked. There's a 6-man tag before the main event. The Love faction of Buffalo, QUALLT, and Togo against Demikin, Hoshikawa, and Yakushiji. That match rules. That match is so good.
Oh my god. And Shooter Delfin, the best Delfin. He's very locked in here.
This is a shocking Delfin performance, because I knew that Delfin had it in to do the shooter stuff, and in the match they have later on, a month later, Delfin actually has like the gear for it too. He has like combat gear. This is just Delfin in his normal gear, but he is a takedown monster in this match.
And
Like,
even before the bell rings, like we talked about it, you can look at him and tell like he has a like fucking killer aura going on. It's
yeah,
crazy that he can be dressed like a dolphin, a multicolored dolphin, and look like a fucking killer.
yeah.
But we
Like
watched, I think, did we watch different versions of this one?
we did because I believe you
Okay.
watched the TV
Yeah, I
broadcast
watched the
and
Samurai TV broadcast, so the announcers were kind of like jarring because
yeah, no, I had no commentary on the VHS release, so I got to hear all the noises and pristine
yeah,
noisiness. And man, let me tell you, there's some great fucking noises in this
yeah.
one.
Did they in that version was there a teen child in a shirt that said "No fucking rule" showing the belt to the crowd?
Dude,
Who was that?
I don't know. I didn't see that in my version actually. I didn't
You know how
see
they like
that.
show the title to the crowd?
Yeah.
They have this skinny little dude in a shirt that says "No fucking rule"
Oh my god, yeah, I
showing
didn't
the.
see that at all.
It might be somebody I should know, like a young boy or something. But I just glancing at him, I was like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Dude, it's
And
probably a fucking Money Mark's child.
yeah, and they're under the bright lights, and they must have been hot because they're both glistening.
Oh my god.
But this one, I think we get like the hottest start. Both guys are sped up a little to start, and they're just like going crazy.
You can tell that this is the first one that we've talked about where there's like actual like heat going into it. Like the QUALT match gets heated just by the nature of it, has some stiffness early on. But this is the first one where like Murahama is coming in as a known like shit stirrer, and Delfin is specifically pissed off at him. And you can feel it because fucking Murahama goes in with those leg kicks, and Delfin immediately shoots for a beautiful takedown.
He's every takedown is fucking crazy. He's shooting in and killing him,
Yeah.
just getting him down. And he does like QUALT. He gets the mount and starts doing fucking palm strikes, like killing him with palm strikes. And
And
so
Delvin is
you're
a like historic great palm strike guy. So him
yeah.
getting like the mounted ones and them still being great is so awesome.
And this one, I just from because mine didn't have graphics. Did yours have graphics?
Mine, I don't think it did actually,
Okay,
now that I think
because I
about it.
know like they were calling escapes. I don't know how many escapes they got, but per round. But they at various like when somebody would grab the rope, they called escape, and then when they got into the ropes, they called a break. So there was some kind of like you know UWFI rings thing going on here where they had a limited amount of rope breaks, I think.
Yes, I think
But
it's
I didn't.
probably the same way they did with the Hoshikawa, where like, because it is also the knockdown thing. They're still doing
Yeah,
that, so I have to
so that
imagine that it's probably like three rope breaks,
adds up to a
or
knockdown.
three escapes, and then just also some breaks if it's like a mutual thing.
Yeah, but Delphin is eating him up in this first round,
Yeah,
just taking him down. And by the end of it, I think Murahama's like loosened up a bit and started to get into a little rhythm. But he like at the beginning, he's going for big shots and he gets eaten up a few times.
every single time he starts to get like any sort of combo going, because he'll hit like one or two, but if he starts to try and turn it into like three or four, like Delphin's immediately ducking down, picking the legs, taking him like all the way across the ring with a takedown sometimes. And Murahama is a good grappler. We have like established that. He did pretty good grappling against QUALT, and you know he's capable, but this is like, I mean, Delphin's just trying to rip him apart. And I mean, Murahama does not have an answer for him, at least in the first round. Like, he's starting to get an idea of how to answer him. But by the time that bell rings, I mean, I had written down Delphin dominated
He
the
did,
like the whole first round, complete domination of Murahama.
and there's no fun house music between rounds
No,
here because
no,
this is not fun.
no more fun in
Yeah.
Osaka Pro. This is a funless day.
Yeah, and the fun was all on the undercard. And then
Yeah.
round two is really kind of like a continuation of round one, where at the end of round one, where Murahama is getting a little looser, but Delfin is still taking him down, including like one of the sickest belly to bellies ever. Like I love that style of belly to belly anyway, and I
Yeah,
complain a lot how like almost nobody does that anymore. Everybody does like the overhead, but it is brutal
it
when
is
Delfin gets
scary.
belly to
I
belly.
and that's probably the biggest example of our different like versions that we saw, because the version I saw, you could tell that he fell pretty nasty, but it was mostly blocked by just the way the camera was situated. Um, and then you sent a clip of the belly to belly that you saw into the fucking little chat. And I mean, he did just go right on his head. Like it looks so scary.
Yeah, but now I think he did it once before. I think this is the second time. Murahama is able to work his way out
Hmm.
of Delfin control without going for a break, which he's learning, which is scary.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole story of Murahama is like if you let him go too long, he'll figure you out, and when he figures you out, there's nothing else you can do but lose.
Yeah.
And I mean, he is figuring him out. He is starting to kind of get an idea of the takedowns. I believe it is in this round where he actually does block a takedown for a bit. I think Delvin gets him down like just barely, but there is a moment where Murahama is just like standing there holding him in place.
Yeah, he
Uh,
rushes in for a takedown because he just ate, if this is the same thing, he just ate like a crazy combo.
he
And
did,
Elvy's
yeah.
kind of swamped and he goes in for a takedown because he's like going down. So he kind of like hits a knee and grabs the waist.
Yeah.
And Murahama gets out of that one too.
And that is around the time that Murahama starts to land some punches that are obscene and gets Delfin against the ropes, like
Oh my God.
body facing outward to the crowd. And fucking again, that Daio QUALLT match just unlocks something because Murahama is throwing punches to the back of Delfin's head. And the referee calls a knockdown while Delfin is standing up because Delfin is like barely able to support himself on the ropes.
Yeah, he gets punched in the base of the skull 4 or 5 times, like crazy. And then he tries like a when they get separated, Murahama tries like a running spin kick,
Yeah.
which is just kind of glancing, and then Delfin pounces, and we get another break, and then there's a really cool thing where Murahama goes for like one of those big shoot headlock takeovers,
Hmm.
and Delfin kind of slips out of it and gets the rope break, and I think that's the end of the round.
Yeah, I think actually because Delfin escapes it and he puts on his own headlock and he is
Yeah, that's right.
wrenching it.
Yeah.
And that's whenever the round goes out around the same time Murahama's getting the ropes. Uh, I mean, just amazing round two. You were totally right. It feels like a great continuation where Murahama is definitely starting to figure out Delfin, but Delfin is still a slippery fucker. He's still not going to go down like immediately. He's still going to hunt for his takedowns and find his opportunities. So,
And
round two ends.
when he gets
And
them, he's getting those big palm strikes in again, which are so
yes,
awesome.
always letting them get in. But round two ends fucking Delfin is looking worse for wear. Murahama not looking good, but he's definitely looking better. Um, and like that, we go into round three, and this is Delfin's like last stand.
Yeah,
Like
the
he
combos are getting hairier and hairier. He's starting to chain together those kicks and punches in crazy ways.
And the thing is, though, Delfin's not taking downs. He's getting the combos, getting knocked down, and then just rushing back to his feet before the ref can start counting to like avoid getting any points, which is like crazy strategy on his part because it means he's just rushing back into getting comboed again, but he's just refusing to let Murahama get any points on him.
And when he gets him, like he does a gnarly half crab.
Dude, like full on wrench on the like almost pulled him onto like his neck, like
Yeah,
bending him back.
it's so sick. And that's an escape. And then a backdrop.
Crazy backdrop.
And then the most impressive Delfin takedown where he rushes him and it's like almost a spear.
It is. It's so good. And that goes straight into a double wrist lock where he's like bending the arm back. And Murahama is freaking out. And Murahama, the wicked
Yeah.
man, digs the fingers into Delfin's eyes.
Big gloved thumb dug into his eyes, and we get some big boos.
Dude, crazy boos. Like they're pissed. And like that's I mean, the second he chose to foul, it was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Because immediately unleashes knockout combos without any fucking hesitation. Delfin down. Delfin so down that he gets to a 9, rushes up, and just gets punched out again. And that again, Delfin down, Delfin up, head kick, just straight to the skull. Like, that's the best head kick of the whole episode. Even better than the fucking feint out one or the Hoshikawa one in the first fight. It is like so gnarly. And I mean, that's it.
And he wins the Osaka Pro title
Takehiro Murahama.
after having
Difference-
only different style fight to this point.
Different style fighter, shoot boxer, wicked man. He is the Osaka Pro champion, the second ever, too. First man to beat. I think he's also the first man to
on his debut show, and then lost it to him here. So he held it for like 5 months.
I think it's also the first Delfin singles loss in Osaka history, if I remember correctly. Because
well, no wonder they hustled him to the back so fast.
Yeah, because he's no, so he loses to Buffalo in '99. And then he loses to Murahama. So the Buffalo loss is the first loss, and this is his second ever.
Well, that's huge for Buffalo.
Yeah, dude. Another win for Black Buffalo.
I gotta put this guy over. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Take him with Dick Togo.
Put him with Dick. Put him with Big Dick 296. Yeah.
Policeman for some reason.
Yeah.
Awesome guy though. And then this is where I think I was like, Murahama must be talking mad shit because they're booing him so loud during.
Dude, they're booing so hard. Well, okay, and that's where the fucking incredible image I sent you. I think that's part of where it comes from because there was I was reading the Shoe Pro articles on all of these matches, and this match has such a fucking funny like main image where it's just an image of Delfin sprawled out as a Super Demikin's checking on him. In the background, you can see Murahama getting his hand raised. And the text they put on the image in it is, Osaka Pro has fallen.
What are they going to do? How will they respond?
How will they respond? And that's
some of the coolest matches ever.
Some of the coolest ever. And
I think people know the first one we talked about, the Hoshikawa one, is awesome, and both of theirs are awesome.
Yes,
and I do want to say that the Daio QUALLT match, like it's got some silly stuff, but the way I've been referring to it is as a mind melter, because like we were looking for a third because everything is like so clipped in this run. And I was like resigned. Okay, we're just gonna have to do 2 of Delfin or 2 of Hoshikawa. But we watched this one, and we kind of both watched it at the same time. We're like, "Oh no, this is the one. This is fucking incredible.
We were like,
we have to talk about this one."
We were both hunting for the third Murahama match. We both landed on. It's like, oh, we'll check it out just right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm gonna be entirely honest. First Murahama match, great debut, awesome match. The Delfin match we just talked about, even better. I think it is such a cool display of how talented Delfin is at like something that is so different from his usual wrestling.
Yeah, and I think that this is like the perfect 3-round different style fight. In terms of like momentum and flow and increase. They start so hot, and you're like, where will they go from here? But it's like increasing desperation. It's just a perfect 3-round different style fight.
It's perfect, but
yes,
I honestly, honest to God, the Daio QUALLT match is my favorite Murahama different style fight. It might be one of my favorite different style fights ever. I love it.
With you, it's so good, and it gets better every time. And it's like 8 minutes long.
Yeah, dude, no, it's like 6. It's like so short, and it's just everything rules, and I don't give a fuck how stupid the lights going out is. That is awesome. And him missing Takehiro Murahama,
Yes.
like that
Welcome
miss
to pro
got in
wrestling.
Murahama's brain and turned him evil. Like,
Yes.
come on.
Holy shit.
Fucking,
It did.
they made him the wicked man. Like, I love that match. It's kind of in the same realm as the Kim Hyun Hwan Samba Osaka match, where it is not as like consequential or epic or like anything else as like other matches from the genre, but it is so unbelievably fun, and you can just turn it on and enjoy it every single
Yeah.
time.
It's pretty perfect. And I said it at the beginning. I don't know who else we would put up there for best rookie years, like Volkan, Jumbo,
Yeah,
Aquino, maybe
yeah.
Brock Lesnar. But like this 2000 run of Takehiro Murahama, because we can talk about further reading, right? There's the Hoshikawa match
Yes.
you mentioned. There's another Delfin match.
And I will say with the other Delphin match, I think it is probably the least of the Murahama matches we have, but I still like that is like a high bar because it is still a great match. It is if you've ever seen the Hashimoto Liger match where Liger comes out in like the battle Liger gear, Delphin does the exact same thing and it rules. It is
Yeah.
so sick.
And it's important in context because that's his last different style fight. He's like graduated to regular, wrestling matches. He's still doing
Which
cool stuff.
I did want to mention that too, because that honestly, I'm kind of sad about how it went because that Delphin match is a month after the one we just talked about.
Yeah.
So he loses the title a month later and shakes Delphin's hand and does there's like a whole angle where they show like footage on a TV broadcast and in the compilation of like Murahama doing like bumping drills, like to make he's going all in on this wrestling thing. And I'm not even saying that like I'm sad he became a wrestler because we're gonna talk about that in a second. But Murahama, the pro wrestler, is a fucking phenomenon.
Yeah.
Uh, but the Wicked Man run lasts like 2 months, and I loved it so much, even if we only got like barely any footage. It is
Yeah.
so cool that they had a fucked up, evil, different style fighter, and then they just gave it up immediately. And I don't know if it's because it might be because Murahama was too cool. That might
Yeah.
legitimately be why they did it. But
Who's gonna
like,
beat him?
but
I,
yeah, no, we
it's
go
when the
into
boxing gloves come off.
yes,
Something is lost. Obviously, we love different style fights. Very,
yes.
very obviously. But something is lost without the crazy punching combos, I think.
Yeah. And I mean
Uh,
he's a good palm strike guy. Like there's
yeah,
one of the further reading I want to recommend is the Thonum Socktober match from Kingdom.
yeah.
They that's their second match and they have no gloves on because this is no glove Murahama era. It sucks because they had a match in the middle of the Wicked Man run out on another Kingdom show, and they both are wearing gloves. We only have photos. I have been told verbatim that a VHS release of the show was put out and was sold at Kingdom shows. I know nobody that has it though. If
Fuck.
anyone can find it, you can email me, you can at me on Twitter. I will pay you $250 in cash or PayPal. I swear to God,
Yes.
if you
Putting
can
it
get
out
that
there,
shit to me.
please.
I will drop the money. Just give me that match. Anyways, their Kingdom match, he's a palm strike guy. He's a good palm strike guy. That match fucking rules. But it does kind of break the heart because he was an amazing like puncher, and besides Toba at the time, there were no other guys doing
Yeah,
that. Um, and it hurts. It hurts the soul a little
it
bit to
does.
see this guy without the gloves on. But he is a wonderful wrestler. In the immediate wake of him losing the gloves, there is a tag match
Oh my God,
that
I love that
is
tag.
Murahama Delfin against Hoshikawa Yakushiji.
Yes.
I actually, when I was on File Under Fire, I brought on a 6-man tag from like a week later that I also love. and I talk about that. But I did even say on the episode there is a tag match that happened like a week before this that I almost brought on because it ruled. I have since rewatched it, and I'm like, yeah, this is like one of the best tag matches of the year.
Now,
Like it is.
is that the one we talked about? Because it's I was thinking of doing that one too, but I didn't want to have too much overlap. I think that's the one that I was like, I was gonna do this, but we have all the same guys.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was.
because oh my god, they kill each other.
They do. That is early like Black Buffalo highlight too. Like
Yeah,
Black Buffalo in Osaka Bro already beginning awesome. But that six man is great because he's mostly paired with Murahama, and you can just tell he's trying to get some licks in from the different style shit. He
yeah,
is beating him to pillar to post, and Murahama actually pretty great victim, and that's like the first big example of that. That in the tag match with Yakushiji and Hoshikawa. That like you're starting to see more signs of Murahama. And again, usually with this segment, we try to talk more about like what's the other better, different style stuff they did, but we have none of that. This
yeah.
is the end of his run, and he goes into being a wrestler. And I told Aubie, I love Tiger Mask 4. I don't think they should have made a Tiger Mask 5 in 2000 because they had a Tiger Mask 4 that had just appeared and he was great.
Yes, I
If they
also
were
want to go
getting
on record
antsy,
as a Tiger Mask 4 aficionado.
yes, we love him. We'll find a way to talk about him eventually.
Yeah,
I will have to find a match. I'm sure he's had one. We'll find it. But if they got antsy, Takehiro Murahama would have been an incredible Tiger Mask. He had all the pieces for that kind of work. And
and
he
he's
basically did
still,
it.
yeah, he's still a really good. Like I watched all the. I think it's cool that he was like a Liger fan and he got to do the tag run with Liger.
Yes.
And I watched all that stuff, and it's not close to this level, but um, it's good, like low calorie junior fun. He's a
Mm-hmm.
cool kick guy. He's really athletic. I do his timing is not perfect in a pro wrestling
No.
setting, I don't think. But he's still a really fun and cool guy, and it is a shame how he sort of went out of the
Yeah.
business because
Yeah.
he didn't hang around long.
No, and I'll mention that a little bit, but I do want to say last two recommendations from his New Japan stuff. He actually kind of starts to run around in that game with kind of the other like hybrid juniors of the era. He has a time limit draw with Naruse, which is a lot of fun, and he has an IWGP title match with Minoru Tanaka that I have not seen in years, but I remember it being fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's probably the
So
one that most people know, right? I think that's probably the most famous
yes, because
Murakami
that's the
match.
four and a halfer from Meltzer.
Yeah. I haven't seen it
Wait,
in forever either.
no,
I
I'm
thought about
probably
watching it before this, but I watched his fights instead.
that's what I did too. I'm probably gonna watch the match like right after we stop
Yeah.
recording. Like it's, but yeah. I mean, the sad thing with Murahama is you're right. He did not stick around forever. He is with Osaka Pro until 2004, or until early 2005. I don't remember the full context of why he left. I know I think there was some level of conflict. I think Zero One kind of offered him some good money. And the other thing too, and this is what I've heard, he was just starting to lose motivation for some reason. And he goes to Z1 and because he was already losing motivation with Osaka Pro, but it was like for not a very well known reason. When he goes to Z1 and becomes like a Tokyo based guy, it becomes very clear what's going on because we've heard him. He's like talked about it in interviews. Takehiro Murahama hated wrestling politics. He fucking despised them, and he mostly avoided them with Osaka Pro because that was kind of a very insular fed. He didn't really have to deal with a lot of the politicking guys. I mean, fucking Delfin left Michinoku Pro because of the
Yeah.
politics. He was very, very clearly trying to just create a fun wrestling environment because he could not stand Great Sasuke and how like politicking he was getting at the time. Um, but when Murahama goes into the Tokyo scene, like, dude, 2000 Z1, we love it to death. 2005, especially, wonderful year for the company. I know backstage had to fucking suck because there
Yeah.
was this was in the wake of Hashimoto's death. I think everyone's trying to figure out what they're supposed to be doing now with the company. Like, there were so many conflicting personalities that had reasonable like booking power at the top. Uh, and Murahama already kind of losing the spark. Uh, it did not help being in Z1. And I mean, this is also like this is right after Hoshikawa's injury too, which like just like I have to imagine if they were there together, that might have circumvented some things because they were boys and
Yeah.
like that might have even been why Murahama got into Z1 was probably Hoshikawa kind of vouching. Um, but yeah, Hoshikawa's fucking injury like completely ends his career out of the business.
And luckily not his life, because
Dude,
could have.
he probably should have died, dude. That's like a fucking crazy injury, and it's incredible that he's alive and he's doing as well as he can considering that he's still. I believe to this day he is still wheelchair bound, but he did walk to the ring. They had that
Yeah,
happen
yeah,
like a
the
few years
cane.
ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was
That
that
was because that was
4,
whenever they had
5?
like Marufuji, I think, like having a match there.
Yeah.
Because that was the pairing in Z1 was Marufuji Hoshikawa started the company. But like I mean, if Hoshikawa didn't get injured, I think Murahama might have been able to stick it out longer because he would have had a guy there like batting for him. But he did not have that, and he was getting politicked around, and he fucking hated it. And within a year, he was gone. He was working Uai Station, and that was really it. He's done a few matches since then. He actually appeared last year on the Osaka Pro Anniversary show as like he's like chubby and had a cowboy hat on, but he was fun. Um, it
What,
just it sucks.
when was the U style non-run?
Oh,
He
that was
when he ran the ropes.
that was in the middle of the Osaka Pro because that was the
Okay.
that was the first. He was on the first and the second U style shows, and that was it. And from my understanding, it's because he kept trying to do pro wrestling stuff, and fucking, like they were just like, dude,
Tomorrow I was like, no, thank you.
this is like we're trying to do like kind of rings 2 or something. Like you can't be running the ropes. And we're almost like, I'm gonna run the ropes and hit a heel kick. Fucking fuck your bullshit. I'm doing my spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's it's crazy, dude. We talked about Hoshikawa, QUALLT, and Murahama today, and all 3 of those guys criminally short careers, which should have gone much longer. But I mean, considering the stuff he gave us, I love Murahama. I always will. Even with that last run, which is almost a little hard to watch at points because you can tell he is so not into it anymore. He is a fucking he was a monster in the fucking wrestling business, and he deserves so much more.
He left his mark for sure.
He did. He did.
And
But
we are still into it. Don't worry.
oh, so much so.
We haven't talked about next week. Do you have any?
I have been thinking about it, and I mean, there's a few names that kind of flown around. But I mean, we did the Don Dada last week.
Yeah.
We did Murahama this week. I feel like we have to go back to the frontier. You know, it's been a little bit, and you know, after the Koreans, after Kim Hyun Hwan and Lee Gak Soo, there was not really much different styling going on for the rest of 1990. It's a lot of Onita doing the death matches. He's getting in with Pogo and fucking first explosion match with Goto. You know, it's we're starting to see the hardcore side of FMW take over. But in February of 1991, Onita sends an invitation to a certain big Russian fucker to you know come in and you know see what he can do. And I mean, man, what a get Grigory Verachev was. What a fucking get.
Dude, the street fight Verachev. Oh.
With the fucking Zubaz.
Oh, this oh, well. looks like we'll have another treat next week then. They just keep coming, don't they?
Yes,
Oh
sir.
my
Yes,
goodness.
sir.
All right, well, go watch all of these, especially the QUALT match, which I don't think many people have seen probably.
No, I feel like out of all of Murahama stuff, that's probably the least seen match, which blows my mind because it rules.
And we will be back next week getting different again.
Yeah, dude, we're different in a style kind of way.
Ooh, baby.
Yes, sir.
Bye.